your kids, right?
What happened?
He was over here. He went that way.
What do he look like?
I never saw him.
Well, who did?
You the girl's mother?
Yeah.
Do you think you could give us a description, love?
No, I never saw him.
Well, did anyone see him?
Sharon did.
She's the girl he talked to?
Yeah.
Well, Sharon, you okay? You think you could tell me what happened?
She's a bit shy.
Gross indecency, mere indecency, invitations to indecency, acts accompanied by circumstances of indecency, indecency on toast and indecency with parsley salt. Now, which do you want?
Loiterers.
Loiterers, eh? You want the funny men. What area?
All of it, over the last 6 months.
Convictions?
No, reports. Had anyone who made a point of talking to young girls, under 10?
Have you got a bag with you? Better get you a plain brown envelope then, haven't I?
Right. Caucasian, adult, blonde to mousy hair.
Yeah, OK.
Witnesses reckon he was drunk.
What else?
He shouted at them. Forget it?
Forget it, yeah.
Here's one. He stood around for about half an hour and spoke to one of the girls.
Age?
9 years, 2 months.
Where?
Pembroke Estate playing fields.
Date?
8th of November. Quiet, apparently well-mannered. He asked the girl her name, she ran to her mum, and he left quickly.
Notice anything?
It's a bit off his patch.
Yeah.
Most of these are probably random, Tosh. I mean, if we were looking for a red-haired, one-legged dwarf.
OK, so we filtered it out. Paranoid mums, passing fancies, and one-hit wonders.
How?
Hello, Gov.
Don't mind me.
Well, we look for his MO. We isolate that and then scrub the rest.
OK. So we know he hangs back and watches.
What's he look like?
Tallish, blonde hair.
Oh, that narrows it down. Should be up to pull 600 before lunchtime.
This bloke offered sweets and patted a girl on the head.
So?
So our man doesn't pat heads.
Our man doesn't do anything.
He stares at him. Yeah, like that, Gov. Only a bit more boggle-eyed. He scares him to death.
It's not a crime.
It's a worry.
The world's a worry.
So when do we nick him?
When he's done something.
He's done it then, hasn't he? So what have we got here?
I'll tell you what you got there, Tosh. A big new idea. And like most big new ideas, it's a waste of time and money and gets us nowhere.
Ah, Frank, how are they doing?
Great, if you're into collages.
Morning.
Hello, Mum.
How's it going?
I think we've got a pattern.
Good. Tell me.
It's not all sorted through, but there is a kind of movement here. One man working most of it and getting more frequent. Now, the sightings started here, and they stayed there for a bit. Then they moved a bit, here and here, and then they spiralled outwards. The latest one this morning was here.
Meaning what?
Meaning that he's planning it more, and probably enjoying it more. And I think he's building up to something.
Like?
I don't know. But he's certainly getting more forward.
More confident.
More dangerous.
And more cautious because of it. You see, he's moving to fresh areas where he's not been seen before.
So it's getting more difficult to predict where he'll be next.
Well, that doesn't bother me. We look for him in here. That's where it all started, and that's where we reckon he lives. When it was first reported, he stood there. Just here. Out of sight, watching the kids waiting. Nervous, new to it. What can you see?
He must have been on stilts.
He must be tall.
We didn't get a lot of height descriptions.
Not from the kids, no. We're all lofty from down there. But some of the mums, they said he was, didn't they?
Yeah, some of them.
So now we know. He's from here, nearby.
He must have come from over there, from the road.
I didn't see where he went to. So he must have kept out of sight behind the shrubs.
So he lives over there.
All works. The second time he came forward, one of the kids was going home along there. He followed for a bit and then stopped
Cats do that.
till they get bolder. The third time he turned up on the Waverley estate.
So to begin with, he stayed in his own territory.
Yeah. Let's take a look.
Five of them. They went that way.
Were they armed?
No?
One day, Viv, all this could be yours.
Hello.
5 go thieving.
You've got every vehicle in the area pouring in.
But they swore at me and spat there.
I'll get paused for the crime sheet.
Look, that button is for armed robbery only. Now, if you can't use it properly, you'll have it removed. Do you understand?
Okay.
Good.
Kids, they nicked a packet of crisps.
Sierra Oscar from 181.
Go ahead.
Doesn't it all look tiny from here?
Careful. You'll get a sense of perspective.
It's just a bunch of kids, Sarge. They nicked a packet of crisps, swore at the shopkeeper and legged it. TSG's here.
Assault cavalry is on its way.
Sierra Oscar from Tosh Lions, come in, please.
Go ahead, Tosh.
Yeah, the kids in question are strolling down the Waverley Road. Please just punch. Over.
Thanks, Tosh. I'll pass it on.
See how the road goes? There's a railway. It's like a territory, a boundary. Schools, shops, parks, all in the same area. Over there, it's a different world,
And this is where he started.
but not in his own territory. He wouldn't do where he'd be recognised.
He turned up here then, just down there, and over there on Waverley.
So he doesn't live on Crawford or Waverley.
Which leaves those up to the flyover. So he's in there.
Yeah. Ironing his raincoat. Let's talk to one of the mums here. Number 97. He watched her little girl on the swings. Watched and waited.
I've had a word with the shopkeeper. The kids could be anywhere by now. Over.
Apparently they're on their way up Waverley Road, taking it easy. Give them a flight, will you?
Yeah, will do. 218 out.
I want to be a detective when I grow up.
Detectives don't grow up. They just get lucky.
Shut up and stay there. Yeah?
Mrs. D. Higgins?
Yeah. We're from Sunhill Police. I'm WDC Martella, and this is DC Lions.
Yeah.
Come have a chat.
Oh, well, yeah, it's a bit of a tip.
You want to see my place?
Well, so what's he done now?
Sorry?
Well, Michael, my son. Well, that's why you're here.
No, we've come about the man you reported watching your daughter.
Oh, right. Well, like I say, it's a bit of a sty.
Tom.
It's a jumble sale.
It's very nice.
No, it's only cheap. Bit of old rubbish. Well, so what's this about? That geezer what hung around the playground?
Yeah, a couple of months ago.
Well, we was only watching, but it was, well, you know, not nice.
What do you mean, not nice?
Well, like he was no good.
Did he talk to her? Make any approach?
No, not that time.
Have you seen him again, Mrs. Higgins?
Oh, yeah.
Where?
All round the flats. Oh, excuse me. It's for my sister.
Jumble sale.
Yeah. Well, no, he came round here, downstairs.
And did you report it?
No, we meant to, but
Why not?
we didn't do much the first time round.
When he came, did you see him?
No, Jazzy did, my girl.
Where was he?
We was hanging round the lifts, went in with her. Said he got some toys for her.
With him?
No, in one of them rooms.
What rooms?
You know. Oh, well, you probably don't. Well, they've built these kind of, I don't know, places. You'd miss them if you didn't know.
You think you could show us?
Yeah, all right.
A moment, gentlemen, please. Thank you. Sorry?
OK, lads.
All right, lads.
What you been up to then?
What you been up to then? Listen.
You got a packet of crisps on you?
Why don't they feed you lot up the nick then?
Where have you just come from?
Australia.
Garfield here, Sarge. We've located the little villain, sir. Phil's just giving him a fright now.
What is it, some sort of recreation area?
Well, it depends what you call recreation. I've told her not to come up here, so she didn't. Find syringes here sometimes.
Was it the same man?
Well, she said it was, but I mean, you know, kids, they get all mixed up.
Yeah, I know, kids.
Why, you got some of your own?
5.
So how come it took you 2 months to come round?
I think it was then.
Yeah, you're right.
You still giving that thing acupuncture?
We're getting somewhere, Gov.
Listen, there's blokes out there mugging their grandmothers. I mean, I know this is all very clever, but there's a lot of guesswork in there. Get it wrong once and you'd be way off target. Remember that.
Yeah, well, OK, yeah. Well, let's get a profile of him, eh? He's tall, he's blonde. What else do we know? Let's get a look at him. What's he like?
He likes kids.
Does he work with them?
He might do.
Well, there's a good chance.
Wouldn't he be chirpier with them, though?
I suppose so. Maybe indirectly, then.
It's OK, Tosh. We're getting there. He's not a forward sort of bloke, so we can rule out some jobs, can't we? Like salesman.
Teachers?
And he wears a suit.
So he's non-manual?
Time studies.
Oh, great.
He works shifts.
You're kidding?
I'm not. He turns up in a particular time zone for a week, see? The following week, different zone, consistently. Then nothing. Then he's back. I've accounted for school times, breaks and holidays.
Ron, you're a genius.
Well, I'm glad somebody's noticed.
Thanks, Ron. That's great.
Anytime. Give us a shout if you need any more.
Cheers, mate.
Right. If we can find a local firm that works shifts.
We better look at their personnel lists.
Yep. And match the address.
Right, any developments, you two?
Yep. We've narrowed him down to 3 blocks.
Very good.
He tried it on in one of the flats. He didn't strike lucky, so he didn't try again. Now, the thing is, he asked a girl into one of the rooms. Now, these rooms aren't obvious, so he must have known the layout. Now, we don't think he lives here. So if he knows the layout, there's a fair chance that he must live in a similar block of flats, right? He started here, so if we rule this out, leaving this. Now, in this area, there's only 3 blocks of flats with the same design as the one where he tried it on. 3 blocks, each with 65 dwellings. We're fairly sure he works shifts. We think he works locally. Non-manual, with a link with kids.
So we thought we'd try some local firms, get some addresses, see if the picture matches anybody living there.
You are closing in, aren't you?
8-5 from Sierra Oscar.
Yeah, go ahead, Sarge.
There's been another incident with kids. Goldman Estate. There's a recreation area.
Yeah, I know it.
A kid's gone missing. 9-year-old girl called Ginny. Her mother's there, reported by a Mrs. Clarence who's waiting for us. Check it out, will you?
Yeah, will do. 8-5 received. Goldman Estate. Come on, let's go.
Police.
Yeah?
Can we already governor?
You mean the boss here?
If we can, yeah.
Sure.
It's over there, mate. OK, mate, thanks a lot. Cheers. What happened, love? Okay.
Mike's going through collators. I want anyone from that area with a record against children.
Martin Payne's from the patch. I nicked him a couple of years ago.
See what Mike gets first. Jim and Ted are with witnesses. I need someone still to go to see the girl's parents.
Viv and Tosh.
All right, when they get in. I'll be in the incident room. Go to it.
Right, guys, let's get a result fast on this one before uniform. Alistair, let's go make some nice calls.
We're looking for someone who works shifts.
Why?
Do you work shifts?
9 to 5. Sorry, we all do.
Oh, well, as we're here, can we have a look at your personnel lists?
Very much depends on what you're after.
Names and addresses.
It's important to us, sir. We're not saying anyone's in trouble.
Well, I have to talk to the union rep.
Sure.
Do you mind waiting here a moment?
No.
Nobody working shifts lives in the block. Nobody working in kids' goods works shifts.
Wonderful, isn't it?
Would you excuse us, though? Hello, Martin.
Hello.
You been busy?
Got to. Mortgage rates.
That's not what he meant. But you have some fun with these.
I sell them.
Who to?
Parents.
Kids. So, your place or mine?
I haven't done anything.
Sounds familiar. You're gonna need these.
Given up.
Yeah, that's what they all say.
Look, I put a foot wrong 2 years ago.
As I remember, Martin, it was more like a hand.
Now, you know the system, and just in case your zeal gets in the way, it's not just a body we're looking for. Any children's clothing, any knives, anything that arouses your suspicions. Now, you've all got the list of what she was wearing. Now, don't cramp each other and stay in your lines. And remember, we're not here for a constitutional stroll, so no talking, please, and try and keep awake. Right, come on, let's go.
Last time he coughed in the motor. Still, there's others. We'll keep going. You've heard, I suppose?
Yeah.
Right, Frank will fill you in. Excuse me.
I want you to go and see her parents.
When?
Now.
What about the profiling, Gold?
Listen, we've tried it your way. Now we're going to do it mine.
I've answered a lot of questions already. Of course.
Thanks.
I think she's all right. I think we'd know if she wasn't.
We're doing everything we can to find her.
Yeah, I know. And you're conducting a... oh, what do you call it? It's an area search. That's where you all walk along in a line. See, we don't... You hear so many different things these days.
You saw the man she spoke to, didn't you?
Yeah, briefly. She's always talking to people. She likes people, you see. She's very trusting. Born 20 years too late, that's what my husband says. Well, how can I help you?
Well, if you can, we'd like a description of the man.
Well, I saw him talking to her. I didn't see him take her. I thought he'd gone. And she came back to us, and we let her watch the football. Some boys kicking a ball around. I was chatting, you see. Bit of gossip. You know, park bench mums nattering away.
You said he was tall with blonde hair.
Yeah.
Do you recall what he wore?
Oh, not really. And he seemed quite respectable, quite ordinary. I hardly took any notice.
Why respectable?
Well, he had a sort of raincoat on. And a suit.
What colour?
Dark.
Was it a dark blue suit?
Why'd you ask that?
In a previous incident, a man answering that description was seen wearing a dark blue suit.
What previous incident?
We've been conducting an investigation.
You knew someone was at it?
Well, there had been.
So why didn't we know? Why didn't people with kids know? She'd have watched out then instead of yakking with her chums. Why haven't you got him if you know what he looks like?
We only know roughly, but you can help us
So
get...
losing our daughter's done you a favour.
I think it was blue.
We didn't have enough information.
You should see about stopping people before they do it.
It's not that easy.
It's a lot easier on the victims.
Who wears dark blue suits, Viv?
Blue's fashionable.
Policemen? Postmen?
Businessmen, landlords, MPs and vicars. Maybe next time we'll get...
You tell them about the next time. You know, I can't help thinking that we've missed something. What about security?
Yeah, what about it?
Well, you remember the toy company?
They don't work shifts. We check the payroll.
Hang on, Viv. Let's take the scenic route, eh?
Well, sir, we've got prostitutes using the sheds, glue sniffers wassailing in the warehouse, dope dealers next door, and a firm doing number plates by the canal. Well, if you dig under the heap, you find worms.
Is that an old Chinese proverb, Andrew?
I've undug a lot of heaps, sir. But no missing children.
Earnest faces digging. Look good on the front page, won't it?
You don't have to work shifts, do you?
Yeah? Why?
You got a schedule?
Yeah?
What's it all about?
Can you use a copy?
It's on the wall.
Oh, let's have a look. Who else works with you?
A couple of blokes.
Names?
Jerry Swan, Roy Beamish.
Regular sort of blokes, are they?
Why not?
What's their addresses?
We don't meet socially.
Who's your boss?
Jenkins, bloke you talk to.
He pays your wages, does he?
Firm does.
What firm?
Security firm.
Any joy?
Yeah. We got a description.
Right. Well, let's see what we got. Incident room.
5 minutes, go.
What for?
Nature.
Make it 6. I don't want you spoiling any interviews.
Cheers.
Tosh.
Yeah?
I've just talked to the security firm. Roy Beamish, tallish, blonde receding hair. Guess where he lives?
Yeah?
Mr. Beamish?
That's me.
CID, can we come in?
Well, what for?
Just for a chat.
You here on your own?
I've got a goldfish.
It won't take long.
I haven't tidied.
It's all right, we don't mind.
Tell me what it's about.
I'd rather we came in.
Well, no. I mean, I live here.
We know that.
Have you got a warrant or something?
We don't need one.
Must I need a warrant to search?
Nobody mentioned searching, Mr. Beamish.
Is that what worries you?
I'm not worried.
I am. A little girl's gone missing.
Yeah?
Do you know anything about it?
Why should I?
Because you like little girls.
You said.
I do.
Come back when you got a warrant.
Viv, in there. Roy, now come on. Roy, there's no point in this, OK? Now, either you come out, or I'll kick the door in. Or WDC Martellus, she'll kick the door in.
Thanks.
And if she kicks the door in, she gets very angry.
Don't get angry with me.
We won't, Roy. If you open it. Roy. Come on, mate. Just open up, eh?
Go away.
Roy. Roy, listen, we just want to have a chat with you.
Go away.
Roy, I just want to know, is Ginny in there?
No.
Do you know where she is?
No.
Has she been in there?
No!
Now, look, mate, look. The best thing you can do is just open the door, eh? I mean, I'm a reasonable sort of bloke. I don't want to get angry. I just want to have a chat. A friendly chat. No hassle. Now, how about it?
Go away.
Hello, Roy. My name's Viv. Look, I'm a bit worried about the girl. And Mum asked me to come and see if she was all right. Her name's Ginny. Is she in there with you?
Roy? All right, stand back from the door then. Are you standing well back, Roy?
No.
Too bad. I hate this.
You all right, love? Yeah. Sure.
Roy Beamish, I'm arresting you for abduction. You don't have to say anything. But anything you do say may be taken down and used in evidence.
I only wanted a friend.
Get up. Come on, get up. Tosh! Viv! Roy Beamish. I've cautioned him. Viv's got the girl. Yeah. Tosh. Yeah? Nice one.
Here, June. I've just been up in crime support. There's a whacking great bundle from the CPS.
So?
I just thought you'd be interested, that's all.
Are you deaf, Hollis?
Eh? Oh, no, sir. There's a Mr. Burford to see you. He's in the front interview room.
Mr. Burford?
Yeah, right.
Inspector Monroe, I understand you wanted to speak to me.
Well, I didn't ask for you specifically, no. Just someone in authority.
So, what's your problem?
Oh, it's not my problem. It's to do with this bloke who works for me. Did work for me. I've made that plain to him. Anyway, we had a party last night at the office. Just a few drinks and bits and pieces. And this guy, Townsend is his name. Jerry Townsend, about my age, divorced. He turns up with this girl he's apparently living with.
I'm not quite with you.
Well, when I say girl, I mean girl. It came out she's still at school. He's having it away with a 15-year-old.
Probably still in bed. Good morning, sir. Mr. Townsend.
Yeah?
Sorry to disturb you. Can you spare us a couple of minutes?
Well, what's up?
It's about Becky Curtis, Mr. Townsend. Can we come in?
This is my outraged boss stirring things up, isn't it? I wouldn't know about that. I told you about his butt on the side at the same time, did he?
Sorry?
No, I suppose not. Cheating on your wife's perfectly legal.
You are aware of the law, then, Mr. Townsend, with regard to the age of consent?
Yeah.
Well, in that case, I have to advise you that you're not obliged to say anything further. But anything you do say may be used in evidence.
Becky's aware too. We discussed it before we became really close. We decided it didn't matter.
I'm not sure that's your decision to make, Mr. Townsend.
Is she here now?
Yeah, she's in the shower.
No, I'm not. What's the matter?
Hello, Becky.
What do they want?
Just a chat. My name is June Ackland. This is Barry Stringer. We're from Sunhill Police Station. We've been asked to come and talk to you about your relationship with Jerry, isn't it?
Yeah.
What do you mean?
Well, I understand you're only 15.
So?
Now, take it easy, Beck.
Well, as far as the law is concerned, it's wrong for you and Jerry to have a relationship. You understand what I mean by a relationship?
Yeah, you mean sex?
So if that is the situation, then I'm afraid that Jerry is committing an offence, and we have to investigate that.
Why, what for? We're not doing any harm. I'm here of my own free will.
I'm not saying otherwise, love. All I'm saying is that if you are under 16 and Jerry is sleeping with you, then he's breaking the law.
So what are you planning to do, arrest him?
What we'd like is for the two of you to come back to the station with us, and maybe we can get this sorted out.
Things are sorted out. Why'd you lot have to come along? What do you think he is, some kind of pervert or something? Oh, is he in? Oh, yes, you just called. Thank you. Morning, sir.
Oh, morning, Kim. Oh, look, can it wait till this afternoon? Only I'm due at area.
Well, it's the case papers on the Ackland assault, the incident on Jasmine Allen Estate. ABH by Everton Warwick.
Yes?
Well, I thought you'd want to know. The CBS have thrown it out. Discontinued in the public interest.
Oh. Well, I think that's all for the best, don't you?
Well, I'm not sure that's how Ackland will see it, sir.
Well, to a degree, I think that depends how you break the news. So, look, I must dash. I'll see you later.
Right, sir. No, no way. I don't want her here. It's nothing to do with her.
Well, your father, then.
I haven't got a father.
Then it'll have to be your mother. We need her consent for a medical examination.
Do what?
We have to examine you.
Why? Jerry doesn't hit me. Go on, show me the bruises. We look after each other, we don't hit.
An internal examination.
No, no way.
Look, Becky, it's just a routine thing. We have to do it in all abuse cases.
I haven't been abused.
All right, I'm sorry, I didn't mean that. In all cases like this, we have to present evidence. That's the rules.
Yeah, I'm sure. To read out in court against Jerry.
We have to be medically certain of exactly what's happened, that's all.
I told you I'm not a virgin. I wasn't even a virgin when I met Jerry. Why do you need a doctor to poke me about and tell you the same thing? Why do I have to have that done to me?
I do understand how you feel, you know.
No, you don't. How could you?
Right, I've been on to child protection. They want her over there soon. It's Sergeant Mills is dealing. Ackland can take her. Plain clothes, though, please. They prefer that.
And what about Townsend?
Well, they're happy for us to continue at this stage, so perhaps you'd interview him.
Me?
Well, it's not a CID thing, is it? Unless she turns out to be one of many. He's in custody, Bob. The pace clock is running. Let's get on with it.
Mother's latest address, no phone number.
Fine.
Only trouble is she might have a customer with her.
That's her problem.
June, did you wear a clean frock this morning?
Sorry?
You've got to take the girl up to CPT. It's a mufti job, which means your audience with Kim Reed's going to have to wait.
Reed, what does she want?
Well, she didn't say.
How are things on the Jasmine Allen estate at the moment?
Thank you, sir. Fairly quiet at the moment. We braced ourselves after the Everton Warwick arrest, but we bailed him very quickly.
I don't detect a note of complacency, I hope, Charles?
No, not at all. Our intelligence is fairly good. I don't think there's anything serious brewing at the moment.
Well, obviously area and division don't use the same snouts.
I'm sorry.
There's a whisper, Charles, of something being orchestrated London-wide on certain estates, and one of those estates is Jasmine Allen. The community initiative on Jasmine Allen means a lot to us here at Area, Charles. Be a pity to see it all go up in flames, metaphorically or literally.
Well, as far as the Warwick incident is concerned and the assault on WPC Ackland, the case papers came back this morning, in fact.
Yes, so I understand. I was speaking to Prescott at the CPS. They're discontinuing, I believe.
Yes, they are. Not in the public interest.
You sound a little dubious.
Well, I haven't had a chance to read the CPS's comments yet, but I suspect that the officer concerned will want to talk about the matter further.
Why? Does she have a querulous nature?
No. No, she's a very sound officer.
Well, I'm sure both you and the CPS are more aware of the intricacies of this case than I am, Charles. But perhaps your very sound officer could be encouraged to take the wider view. We are here to preserve the social and physical fabric of the capital. We do that through team spirit, by shrugging our shoulders, not by developing chips on them.
Yes?
Mrs. Curtis, sir. Becky's mum.
Oh, thanks for coming, Mrs. Curtis.
Well, what's he done to her?
You mean Mr. Townsend?
Well, she's not shacked up with anyone else, is she?
You do know she's living with Mr. Townsend, then, in the full meaning of the term?
Of course I know. What am I supposed to do about it?
She's under 16, Mrs. Curtis. Legally, she's your responsibility.
She's also a big girl with a mind of her own.
Do you have any other children?
No, thank God.
And is there a Mr. Curtis?
Oh, somewhere.
According to Becky, she's been living with Mr. Townsend for about 6 months. Is that right?
She still goes to school, you know. She's not missing out on her education.
So, got any children of your own, Jerry?
Yeah, 2. A boy of 17, a girl a year younger than Becky. Don't see much of them since the divorce. She took them up north. Lancaster.
Part of the attraction, is it? Becky? A substitute?
Oh, no. I want to marry Becky, not a doctor.
But you did meet her after your divorce?
Yeah.
You want to tell me about it? How you met? Jerry?
I was in a pub, sitting on my own, you know, getting quietly and miserably stoned. I used to drink quite a bit then. And she was in there with a group of other youngsters, because obviously she looks 18 with the makeup on. And she spilt my drink, you know, backed into the table, just an accident. She is a bit clumsy. Only she was really apologetic. The rest all laughed, but she mopped it all up, insisted on buying me another drink and everything. And then all the others were going off to a party somewhere, only she didn't want to go. It was a bit of a barney, and they left her to it. She just asked me if I had a fag, because she smokes like a chimney, and we got chatting.
And how long ago was this?
Must be nearly a year now. She was still 14. It came as quite a shock when I found that out.
But it didn't make any difference?
Of course it made a bloody difference. I don't prowl the streets looking for young girls, you know. We'd met a few times before she told me. And when she did, I was all for packing it in. But she, well, she's a pretty forceful young lady. So in the end, I decided, what the hell? What's a birth certificate? It's only a bit of paper, isn't it?
We shan't detain you any longer than necessary, but as she's a minor, we do need your permission to conduct a medical examination and to interview her. It's customary for a parent to be present.
Where is she?
Just along the way. But the examination and interview will be conducted at Queen Anne's Hospital. That's where the Child Protection Team are based.
Protection? What's she need protection for?
I must stress, Mrs. Curtis, it's not your daughter who's committed a crime. In the eyes of the law, she's an innocent victim.
It's me that needs protection. She went at me with a bread knife once, you know. And she never even got probation.
She's always had boyfriends. Well, she calls them boyfriends, but she's on the game more often than not. They used to give me the eye and all. And a bit more if they got the chance.
Man?
Bog off!
See what I mean?
Mrs. Curtis.
I suppose you've said they can do the medical.
Yeah.
Well, I'm not.
I'm soft. She's strong. She's a bit wild. I'm stodgy. But we both care. We're just 2 human beings who fit together.
Well, that's as maybe, Jerry, but what you've got to accept that in the eyes of the world, they might see you just as a dirty old man corrupting a young school kid. Now, whose idea was it to move in?
I honestly can't remember. Hers, I think. I don't know. We talked it over like we do everything else, and it was what we both wanted.
We're not going to find out she's expecting, are we?
We're saving babies till we're married.
June? Sorry, Mum. I got your message. I was going to come and see you at end of shift.
Well, look, I'll be out by then. It's just to tell you the latest on your ABH case. Can you spare a minute?
Well, Inspector Myers...
Look, just quickly then, so that you don't hear it on the grapevine. Look, your case papers have been returned by the CPS. They're discontinuing.
What? Why?
The public interest.
The public interest?
They feel the case is vulnerable and has wider implications. I haven't been able to speak to them about it yet. I thought it better to get your reaction first. But I will go back.
Oh, do you think it would do any good? I mean, no disrespect.
Well, I'm not a CPS pressure. They're always ready to discuss and explain. I can't honestly say I've ever made them change their mind, but it depends what you feel about it.
I feel bloody unhappy, to be frank.
Can I suggest then that you go and see the big white chief about it? He's got more clout than I have.
Sure, the sooner the better.
Right, I'll arrange it.
Thanks. Aren't you going to talk to me, Becky? It's all right, you know. Your mum's not coming with us, it's just you and me. They're nice people there. Nobody's out to hurt or humiliate you. It's their job to help, that's all. They help a lot of kids.
Can you remember when you first had intercourse, Jerry? With Becky?
Do you really need chapter and verse?
Can you remember?
My birthday. We'd been out celebrating a couple of months after we met.
Since then, it's been pretty regular.
After we moved in together, yeah.
But she was always perfectly willing.
What do you mean, but?
Just for the record, that's all I'm asking. At no time was there any duress.
No! We care for each other. Can't you bloody accept that? Can't that thing accept it?
Interview terminated.
Recording your every word, it makes you feel like a criminal.
You've admitted to an offence, Jerry. Technically, that's what you are.
Sergeant Mills?
Hi.
June Ackland, Sun Hill. This is Becky Curtis.
Hello, Becky. Nice to meet you. My name's Sue. Come and have a chat. Feel long in a sec.
Inspector Munro's filled you in on the details, has he?
Yes, and we've got her papers from Youth and Community. She's known to social services as well, of course.
So what happens once she's been processed?
Processed?
Well, after the internal examination, the interview.
Well, that's up to the strategy meeting, isn't it?
Home to Mum?
That's one option.
Oh, no, it isn't.
Well, the girl's not on the at-risk register.
It still isn't an option.
OK, tell the child abuse advisor. But if there's no one else, it's a place of safety order, isn't it? Put in care. What else can we do?
Look, she has care with Townsend. She has genuine affection and security. We won't be stopping abuse by taking her away from him. We'll be causing it.
Excuse me. Sorry. Are you with Becky Curtis?
Yes.
Dr. Andrews. I'm ready when you are.
Right.
Mr. Townsend, you have admitted unlawful sexual intercourse, which is an offence under Section 6 of the Sexual Offences Act. A decision now has to be made as to how this offence is to be dealt with. You'll either be cautioned, or you'll be charged and bailed to appear before a court in due course.
The doctor was nice, wasn't she?
I feel like I've been raped. Jerry's never raped me. Do you know what the best thing in the world is? It's when we snuggle down in bed at night and I'm lying there in the warm, in the dark, listening. There's a pub at the end of the road and you hear them at chucking out time. Hear them going past, shouting and swearing, fighting sometimes, men and women. And I'm lying there with Jerry and I think, you poor bastards.
June! How'd it go?
She's in the system. How about him?
In a cell.
Just about sums it up.
Yeah, well, listen, you're still in demand. Only gone up a couple of ranks. Chief Super, 12:30.
Fine. I'm just about ready for him.
Handed her on?
Yes, sir, I've handed her on.
Not like Ackland to become emotionally involved. Recent events still reverberating, perhaps. Did he confess?
Yeah, he confessed.
Good. Someone from Child Protection's coming to interview him in about an hour.
Ah, June, come in. Take a seat. Would you, like a coffee?
No, thank you, sir.
I understand from DCI Reed that you're, disappointed with the Crown Prosecution Service. Their decision not to proceed against Everton Warwick.
I'm not disappointed, sir. Baffled. As far as I can understand, they haven't even suggested a downgrading from actual bodily harm to criminal assault. It's just to be discontinued, full stop.
And I think that's wrong.
I sometimes think as police officers we're inclined to fall in the trap of seeing the law in rather simplistic terms.
Warwick punched me in the face. He kicked me in the stomach. Are the CPS calling me a liar?
No. But you know as well as I do it's not just a question of truth. The proof has to...
Well, they're not saying there's a lack of evidence.
Not a lack of evidence, no. But we have to look at the ramifications of that evidence, its quality. It's also further complicated by the identity of your two chief witnesses.
Stamp and Quinnan were there, sir, standing beside me. They saw what happened, how couldn't they?
Stamp and Quinnan have a complaint of racial harassment outstanding against them.
I honestly don't see that should make any difference, sir.
Well, I'm afraid your view is not shared by the CPS.
And you're not prepared to challenge that?
June, I'm sure you're mature enough to appreciate the wider implications of this case.
Ah, yes. The public interest.
If this controversial prosecution goes ahead, if Everton Warwick were to be convicted on dubious evidence, the whole of this division will have to take the consequences. Now, look, you've been very blunt. So will I. The Jasmine Allen estate is a tinderbox at the moment. This is just the sort of spark that could set off serious public disorder. Now, you have to ask yourself, which is the more important, the possible loss of life and property, or you pursuing your pound of flesh?
It's not a pound of flesh, sir. You're being totally unfair. I've done as much as anyone for community relations on that estate. But I don't see how denying someone the right to justice can possibly be for the greater good, not in the long term.
The right to justice? Come on, June, you're getting a bit high-flown, aren't you?
Oh, all right. Let's get right down to earth. Warwick's not facing trial for murder. All we're talking about is a measly ABH. So what if he gets done? What's he facing? Life? No. 2 months suspended at the most. How can that possibly be an excuse for mayhem? It's blackmail. On you and on me, and it's dishonest to pretend otherwise. I mean, whose public interest are we talking about anyway, I wonder? The ones who might get in the way of the petrol bombs? Or senior officers at area who do sod all for community relations except write papers about it?
If you're trying to suggest that the CPS decision was somehow politically motivated, I advise you to forget about it. The CPS is not open to influence.
But I am.
I can't help admitting that I'm disappointed by your attitude, but I suppose it's only to be expected you're going to have negative feelings about the job at the moment. I mean, with all you've been through, Gordon Ray and the way it was handled, or rather mishandled.
Actually, sir, I do have negative feelings about the job at the moment. And they have nothing to do with my sex life. They have to do with questions like, what the hell are we doing? And why the hell are we doing it? And it seems to me that all we're doing is screwing up other people's lives. And if we're not doing that, we're letting other people screw ours up by assaulting us. It seems to me, as a humble foot soldier, that 19,000 assaults a year on plods and plonks is a good few thousand too many. And as far as I'm concerned, if the CPS won't prosecute, then I will. I shall take out a private summons against Mr. Warwick. And if area don't like it, they can write a paper on it. And you know what they can do with their paper?
Any joy?
Yeah, barrels of it.
Well, your view will be noted, Bob, but I can't say I'm inclined to agree.
Well, what's the point of screwing the man to the floor? Who's it going to help? The girl? We should be 16 in a couple of months.
So what would you prefer? Pretend it hasn't happened, or sit tight for 2 months till it's legal?
Hello, sir. Just to let you know what's in offing in the Warwick case. Ackland's talking about a private summons. Yes, well, I'm afraid you rather overestimated my powers of persuasion. I have informed the CPS.
On your own?
Very much so, yeah.
Do you want another?
Okay.
What did Brownlow want?
Just a check.
Pint of bitter, please, love. Well, they're waiting to get an opinion now from the CPS.
What?
Child protection on whether we should prosecute Townsend or not. They don't know what to do with him either. So he's bailed pending. Munro's not best pleased. Cheers.
Yeah, well, letter of the law equals public interest in Mr. Munro's book, doesn't it? Very simple. Sometimes the CPS see it differently, though. Either way, someone usually ends up getting hurt. Still, Becky Curtis has got nothing to complain about. We've got her a social worker and a bed in a children's home. What more could she want? I'll see you.
Suspect emerged from rear entrance of public house at 14:37. Proceeded into car park, where he spoke to unknown male, approximately 20 years of age. Suspect handed unknown male a small object, taking in return what appears to be a quantity of money. Suspect returned to public house at 14:38. "577 from 181 receiving."
577 receiving. Go ahead, Narika.
Customer on his way. Approximately 6 foot, jeans, blue denim jacket and trainers. Late teens. You should be able to see him now.
I've got him.
Substance in trouser pocket. Right hand side, I think.
Understood. Out.
Is it all right if I just get something from the cupboard?
Yeah, of course it's all right.
How's it going then? A few more snaps for the Rogues Gallery?
A few. It's going well.
Yeah? You know, you should put a stabilising weight on that. Now, it's dead easy. You just hang a bag under the centre bit, put something heavy in the bag. Sharper pictures, less camera shake, really.
Oh, thanks. I'll remember that.
You must be nearly finished anyway, ain't you? I mean, you've probably got enough evidence now.
Maybe.
What's wrong with you, mate? Why is he so miserable? He's got piles or something.
With a bit of luck, we should be out of your room by the end of the day.
Great. Not that it hasn't been very nice having you here. Can I get you anything from the shop? Sandwich? Can or something?
No, thanks.
Hemorrhoid cream?
Piss off, go on.
See you then.
Smart-ass prat. There's definitely something dodgy about him.
He's really rubbed you up the wrong way, hasn't he?
But I don't care what you say. I still reckon it was a mistake using this house.
577 from 181.
Yeah, go ahead.
Suspect just left the car park. He can probably see you from where he is. Do not apprehend customer. Repeat, do not apprehend customer.
Kathy? Kathy, it's all right, I know how to get there.
What?
I know the way.
What's going on?
I think you'll find our friendly neighbourhood dealer might be watching.
Close.
You should be smiling, mate.
Yeah, well, thanks very much for letting us know.
Probably won't do anything.
We've made
Yeah,
a
but
note.
you'd kick yourself if they both come in, wouldn't you, eh?
No, it's too late now, anyway.
You ready?
No, it's not Steve here who put it on for you, wouldn't you, Steve? What's that? Well, Sue here wants to flutter, but time's a bit short. She was thinking maybe you could phone it through on your account.
Didn't have you down as a betting man, Suzanne.
It's a red-hot tip.
Hey, well, cousin's got this friend who's a stable lad, isn't that right?
Really? You gonna share it with us then, are you?
It's called a double. 2 different races, and you bet on a winner in both. The bet sort of accumulates.
Yeah, I know what a double is. She's got no chance. They're both outsiders. She's doing a double.
All right, how's it going?
Lovely.
So, why'd you persuade her to put on a tenner? Bookies have to make a living, don't they?
It's bad enough his mum nipping in and out every 10 minutes. If I hear about her ex-husband one more time... I just don't know how you listen to her. I couldn't do it. I don't care if she is Miss Neighbourhood Watch.
Well, you're not such great company yourself just at the moment. You don't suffer from piles, do you?
I don't trust them.
Tea, anyone?
A fine win there by Dancing Boy for the Green Meadows Handicap. Written by Graham Starkey, trained by Tony Oxley.
Are you winning? Halfway there.
They're very good.
Yeah, well, he doesn't need encouraging. He only wanted to leave school and start as a photographer's assistant, is it? Something like that. I mean, it's crazy, isn't it? With his brains, photography. Because they're saying at school he's definite university material. Oh, yeah.
Excuse me, but do you know who this is?
Colin Brandon.
Well, mate of Tony's.
I won't go that far. Don't worry, I'll get rid of him.
All quiet then, eh?
About normal for this time.
So, the friend of a friend knew what he was talking about after all. Oh. And it looks as if the odds on the other one are shortening.
Won't happen twice in one day. That is for definite.
Steve?
Oh, that's interesting. Tony's mate's just gone into the pub.
So?
Well, nothing. I was just wondering what he was going in there for.
I don't think that's very likely.
Well, I hope not. Because it won't reflect too well on young Tony, will it?
No problem, soon got rid of him.
Yeah, we saw. He's just gone into the pub.
Really? Well, doesn't surprise me. I blame his mother. She just lets him do what he wants. Of course, her husband left her, you know. Not that she's the only one, and some of us manage.
Yeah, Val's been bringing up Tony on her own for, what is it, 8 years?
Yeah. And I've had to work hard. Because his dad doesn't give us much money. Thinks paying maintenance is some sort of favour. But then that's men for you, isn't it? Oh, no offence.
Sorry, sir. I'm afraid you'll have to move on.
So what's the idea then, eh?
Dave Quinnan coming over all ethical. I've seen it all now. Why so protective? You trying to get inside a knickers or something?
Do you know how much he stands to collect if that second horse comes in? I mean, we're not just talking hundreds, you know.
I thought he was a bit too good to be true. What's this then, eh? More revision? Is he doing an A-level in tits and bums, is he?
He's 15 years old. Most little boys grow out of it.
Oh, I tell you what. She certainly ate her greens like her mummy told her. Whew. I thought they were supposed to be hard up. I mean, there's over £200 here. And how about that? 577 from 218, receiving.
577 receiving.
Looks like we've got another customer for you, Barry. Stand by.
Understood.
I think our Tony's got a few questions to answer about the company he keeps.
Our friend's back inside, is he?
No problem. You've got an all clear this time.
By the way, he's known to us. One Colin Brandon. Over.
Understood.
Don't like to say I told you so.
There's nothing to suggest Tony's involved.
Yet.
Excuse me. I'm sorry to bother you.
I'm a bit of a rush, actually. Do you mind?
I'm a police officer. I'm arresting you on suspicion of possessing a restricted drug.
What?
You don't have to say anything, but anything you do say will be taken down and maybe given in evidence. Do you understand what I've said? Do you understand? You get in the car, please.
Now.
One A1 from 577 receiving.
181 receiving. Go ahead, Barry.
This one's in the bag. We're on the way. Over.
Understood. Leave it out, George.
What? I didn't say anything.
Just remember, Val offered to let us use her home. No, listen. She's one of the best friends we got on this estate, right? All I'm saying is a little tact might be in order.
Come on, in here. Charlie won't mind. Charlie? Charlie?
You lot, is it? Too much to do for a customer, I suppose.
How's it going?
Bloody awful. And before you ask, no, I haven't been offered any bent gear. Hardly likely to be with you lot in and out the whole time.
This one working, is it?
Well, no, it's all right. Make yourselves at home, please. Pull up a chair.
George Duffield on Burgos. Got about the same chance as Horton Live. They ran close together at Newbury earlier this season.
Fancy a cup of tea, Sarge?
What's that? Next race coming up, is it? Go on. Oh, and Sue, if he comes in, I expect a drink.
Yes, Sarge.
He's got no idea we're here. Tony hasn't told anyone.
You don't know that. Maybe he doesn't care if the dealer gets pulled. Maybe there are other dealers he's tipped off.
So why didn't he tell his mate Colin?
Or maybe Colin's not his mate. Maybe he's just a customer.
A customer?
Yeah, well, think about it. Colin comes over to see Tony, who's not here, right? So what does he do? He goes straight across the road and scores his dope from the pub dealer instead. He might just explain the money.
So what, Tony's a dealer now?
He was seen obtaining substances from a suspected drugs dealer in the car park of the Dark Horse public house.
Says who? Go on.
In exchange for money.
Oi! I said keep your hands where we can see them. Is there a law against pulling up your sock now? I have reason to believe he's hidden drugs in one of his socks, Sarge. The right one, is it?
Would you put your right foot on the chair, please, Colin?
Whistle stop and commander, but I think the grey has it by head. It looks that way from this position. That's whistle stop, first past the post. A strong challenge by Paul Taylor on commander, but I'm not sure that it was enough. So officially it's a photo finish, and now we just...
Oh, sir, I thought you'd like to know that Marshall and Stringer have brought another body in.
Thank you, Bob.
That horse of yours hasn't actually won, has it?
It came in second, but they've just announced the steward's inquiry.
Well, keep the noise down.
Yes, Sarge.
Now, so there's whistle stop on the rails, well clear of commander. Now Starkey asking for more effort, but what an effort it is. Commander closing downside, and yes, from this angle, it does look as though there might have been some interference. Hard to tell. You can see how these head-on pictures fall short.
I don't know what you're talking about. I've never been near any of that stuff.
So why is it there, then?
Another one from the Dark Horse?
Yes, sir. This looks like the real thing. Half the people we picked up today have been buying some very expensive OXO cubes.
Stringer a word.
So why is it there?
How many does this one make?
4, sir.
No indication of any other dealers operating out of the premises?
Not so far as we know, sir.
Well, in that case, I think it's time we apprehended him. Give me 5 minutes.
Sir?
I'll be accompanying you on the arrest.
Address?
Dark Horse Car Park.
I'll explain the situation to Val and suggest we have a word with Tony here, with her present.
I'd take him down the station. And if he doesn't come up with the goods, we should have a word with Colin.
Both Val and Tony have been guaranteed anonymity. Look, I'm not suggesting any special treatment, but there are ways and ways.
181 from Sierra Oscar 1 receiving. Over.
181 receiving. Go ahead, sir.
I think it's time we apprehended our suspect. Any developments that I should know about?
No, sir. It's all going pretty much as expected.
In that case, we shall proceed as per the briefing. We'll be in position shortly. We'll make the arrest at the first opportunity after that. Understood?
Understood, sir.
That's official now. The result stands. The result of the steward's inquiry is that the result stands. And now for those stuff.
Thanks, Charlie.
Oh, anytime.
Feel free. Come on, then.
How's it going?
Val, can I have a word?
Yeah, what is it?
This Colin Brandon, does Tony see much of him?
Yeah, I sees him a bit, yeah. I don't know why, though. He always seems soppy to me. You know, sort of vague, aimless. Not a bit like Tony. In fact, to be honest with you, I don't encourage him much.
Known each other long, have they?
Couple of years, off and on. Since secondary school, I suppose. Why? What's this got to do with Tony?
Colin's just done a deal with our friend in the pub. He's been arrested for possession of what we suspect to be drugs. Now, if he's a mate of Tony's, it doesn't look too good, does it?
Are you suggesting? I mean, just because Colin's stupid, that doesn't mean Tony is.
No,
I don't believe this. You come in my house, you work in his room, you take over the place.
Val.
And then you start accusing my son? I mean, I'm doing you a favour. Had you forgotten that?
We're not accusing Tony.
Well, it sounds like that to me. I mean, who do you think you are?
Val, please. I'm sorry how this might look, but we found some money hidden in a magazine under his bed.
Having a good nose, were you?
It's £200 in cash. Do you know where he might have got it from?
£200? No, of course not.
Part-time job.
Well, he works for the photographer sometimes. That was his dad's idea. They don't pay that kind of money. £200, that's a fortune.
Well, I'm sure there's nothing to worry about, but we've got to check it out.
He's not up to anything, you know. He's just a lad of 15.
They're all just 15.
It's not me, it's like
Well, it was last time you were late.
We'll have a few swift ones. All right.
I'm telling you, Dave, I placed the bet, right? So what's the problem?
You sure about that?
Of course I'm sure. Hey, are you coming in or what?
I'll see you in there, eh?
Where would he get this sort of money?
Hopefully he'll tell us. He's probably got a perfectly reasonable explanation.
You were looking through this magazine, were you?
Right on cue.
Stand by, we've got another customer for you.
They're getting younger. Right, unknown female, 14 to 16 years of age. Seen waiting in car park, 1623. Come on. If that's Tony, don't mention anything, will you, Val? Till we've sorted this.
Stand by.
That's him. He's going for it.
Go.
He's dropped it right there.
Can I have a word, mate? I'm a police officer, and you're under arrest on suspicion of selling prohibited drugs. You don't have to say anything, but anything you do say will be taken down and may be used in evidence. Do you understand?
Understand? No, I don't understand. What's all this about? Getting them while they're young. You appear to have dropped something.
He's trying to plant that on me. Don't believe this. Excuse me, you see this? He's trying to plant this stuff on me.
You're wasting your time.
Can you help me, please? Can you leave your name with the chap behind the bar? I'm going to need witnesses to this. I don't believe this.
Very impressive.
You're very photogenic. Do you know that?
That's Teresa Smart. Stupid little fool.
So you really didn't tell anyone we were here then?
Well, it's not something you brag about round here, is it?
Don't talk to the constable like that.
What's going on? Have I got horns or something?
Your friend Colin was arrested earlier.
What was it? Licorice, oxo cubes?
Oh. So you know about your local dealer and the strokes he pulls then?
Everyone does. Well, except you lot.
Oh, we know about them.
Why waste your time? Why don't you go after real criminals instead of that Mickey Mouse operator?
Look, you may think it's nothing, but when he starts cutting heroin with baking powder, it's not so funny. And you're going to explain where this came from, eh?
You think...
What did you say? I think you better just wise up and show a bit of respect.
For you lot? Snooping through my things? You're unbelievable. Dad gave it to me. It's going towards a new camera. He may be hard up, but he's actually interested in what I want to do. Funny that, isn't it?
Dad gave you this?
That's what I said, wasn't it? You know, I don't know why you let them in here. Really. You can ask him if you want. Go on, she's got the number. Phone him.
Come back here, you...
I believe him.
Nice one.
Now, personally, I think the horse was impeded, but that's the way it goes.
How much is it you would have won?
£2 plus.
But I didn't.
That far away. Still. Next time, eh? You get any more tips from that cousin of yours? I'd like to hear about them.
Thanks again.
You're welcome.
You didn't give him that tenner, did you?
Of course you did. What do you think Suzanne is?
But you didn't actually place the bet, did you? That's right, isn't it?
What are you talking about?
I've just been on the phone to Freddie's.
Steve?
You coming or what? Yeah, be right with you. Go. Mike?
No, I think I'll give it a miss this week.
What's it with you? You on the wagon?
No, I just fancy a break from the old routine.
Suit yourself.
Where's Michael?
Oh, he's too busy.
What, on a Friday lunchtime?
Right, team?
Mom. Mom. Perhaps he's on a promise.
Of course she does. She enjoys it, you can tell. Anyway, how has she become a DCI by 38?
You bitch. How'd you know she's 38?
Reg Hollis.
No, I would have put her a bit older myself.
Sierra 1 from Sierra Oscar, receiving over.
Yeah, receiving.
Fatal reported in Telwyn Road.
Motor? How many vehicles?
None. It's the building site. Fatal accident, sir.
Roy Evans, site manager.
Over here, is he?
Yeah.
So, how'd it happen?
Fell from the second level, landed on doors.
Sierra Oscar 595.
Go ahead, Tony.
The accident at the building site confirmed as fatal. Looks like his neck's been broken, plus various other bits.
Inspector Munro's on his way.
Understood. Out.
Do you want it all shut down?
This would be a good idea, wouldn't it? We don't want him buried in ready mix. And no one's to leave the site, OK? We need to take statements. Now, George, look in the back of the motor. Should be some tape calling the area off.
All right, lads, break it up. Come on. It's not going anywhere.
We know his name.
Seabrook. Stephen Seabrook.
Employee.
Self-employed. Tiling subcontractor.
We got his home address, next to kin.
I'll see what we've got in the office.
Yeah, all right. Just like to take a look up top first.
What, right now?
Yeah, if you don't mind. I'd like to see as it is. And so will health and safety. smelt the drink. Bit naughty, innit?
There are 50 men on this site. I mean, what do you want me to do? Breathalyse them every dinner time?
How do we know that he fell from up here? Not from the first.
I was on the first. I saw him go past.
I'm used to Ted Roach treating me like a social disease. But Michael... Is there anything I should know? He didn't fancy a drink, that's all. You want to watch it go? Your paranoia show.
They haven't taken the body, I hope?
No, sir. The site office called for it. I've just told them.
Any witnesses?
Only in transit, sir. No one appears to have seen his feet leave the walkway.
Surprise, surprise.
Seems he was a bit of an artist, sir.
Drink?
Yeah.
Oh, that'll look good at the inquest. And Dr. Bean?
On the way, sir.
Have we got a next of kin?
Site manager's checking it now. He's a bit shaken up. It's his first death.
Guilty conscience about site safety.
I have checked the scaffolding, sir. At least that seems okay.
All right, then. We'll borrow a hut and you can start initial screening. Did you know the deceased? Had you seen him today? Had you worked with him today? Do you know anything about the accident? 4 straight no's and they can go home. Otherwise, we want a proper statement. All right?
Yes, sir.
Could I have your name again, please? Yeah? No, if you could stay where you are for the moment, I'll get someone right round to see you. Yeah. Thank you, Mrs. Collard.
Oh, you've informed the Health and Safety Executive, I trust?
Sierra Oscar 1 from Sierra Oscar. Receiving, over?
Receiving.
Just had a call from Mrs. Rachel Collard, sir. Lives in Merrick House, the block in Rogan Place. She saw our man pushed.
Excuse me, Mum. Incident at the building site in Telwyn Road. Man dead, allegedly pushed off the 2nd floor.
Does the DI know?
He's out on inquiries.
Oh, that'll be his Friday lunchtime inquiries, will it? Who's on scene?
Inspector Monroe.
Right, tell him we'll be there in 10 minutes.
We?
As in you and me.
Should have brought your wellies, Mum.
I'll manage. Back here when you see Mrs. Collard, okay?
Yeah, right.
You want a piggyback, love?
Are you licensed? Oh, afternoon, Andrew.
Afternoon, Mum.
How you doing?
Well, it's a building site, Mum. Traditional habitat of the 3 wise monkeys. Body first or alleged scene of crime?
I don't mind bodies.
He's trying to impress her. You could do the same if you didn't have your problem.
What problem?
With women in the job.
What are you talking about? I got on all right with Chrissy Fraser, didn't I? Would have gone on a whole lot better if she played ball.
That was different. Madam's in charge.
Look, Tosh, I do not have a problem with women governors.
Neither do I, but I'm married to mine. Hey up. There's a message from Mike.
What, him and Reed bunked off to Brighton, have they?
Not exactly.
Presumably we'll have to wait for Amit.
They're tucked up elsewhere. They won't be here for a couple of hours. So we'll keep the ball rolling rather than wait, shall we?
So, they were about halfway down on the 2nd floor there. Is that right?
Yeah.
Was there a fight or a struggle?
The man who did it had hold of the other man's shoulders and just pushed him over backwards.
The man who did the pushing, what did he do then?
Just disappeared in through the window.
You didn't see his face clearly? Can you be more specific about the jacket? I mean, like, the colour?
No, I'm sorry. This window's none too clean. The whole place is a bit of a mess, really. I've just moved in.
Of course, yeah, don't worry. No, you're being very helpful. How tall would you say he was? 6 foot? Less?
I don't know. It's difficult looking down like this.
Yeah, okay. Don't worry, don't worry.
You were on the walkway directly underneath, is that right, Mr. Evans?
Yes, but if there was any argy-bargy up here, I wouldn't have heard it. There were hammer drilling downstairs.
Why would Seabrook have been up here anyway? It's barely topped out, let alone ready for bathroom tiles.
No reason work-wise. But if it'd just come back on site, it's a shortcut to the top of Block 1 at the moment.
What's your gate security like? I mean, suppose he had just come back on site. Could someone have followed him in?
All visitors report to the site office, that's the rule.
Yes, but you don't need passes or anything.
That's down to the company, not me.
I'm just asking, Mr. Evans. When a project reaches this stage and there are all kinds of trades buzzing around, would it be impossible for someone with a hard hat and a toolbox just to walk in?
No, it wouldn't be impossible.
Excuse me, Ma'am. Inspector Burnside's here.
Thanks, George. When was that painted?
This morning. It's only primer. They were in the other block by dinner time.
All right, Gov.
No. Why wasn't I told?
You were in the pub.
I was in the grapes, Michael, not the Abbo's armpit in Alice Springs. What's she want to get her nice shoes muddy for, anyway?
So she can wipe them on you, Gov.
Hello, Frank. Nice lunch? Hats, gentlemen. Sight rule.
That's a lot so we can see.
Did you see her, Mike?
Yes, ma'am. She seems genuine enough. She couldn't add to the description, but says she saw our man go through the window.
Anyone else up there see anything?
No, not in the Collard flat, but Merrick House is a fair old size. I think it's worth a follow-up.
Could you see to that, Andrew?
Yes, ma'am.
What about the initial screenings?
Pretty well a total blank there, ma'am.
Well, we could be looking for an outsider anyway. Tosh, could you do a circuit of the perimeter fencing? See if that leaks like the main gate?
Yes, ma'am. There was one thing from the screening, ma'am. Seabrook's mate is among the missing. He's not been seen since dinner time.
Name?
Dennis Rickman. Got an address.
Well done. We'll pay him a visit. Mike?
Excuse me, Mum. Where do I figure in all this?
I'd like you to stay here and liaise with Socko and the factory inspector when they arrive, please, Frank.
Liaise?
Yes, please. Oh, and tell Socko to take a good look at the door jamb up there.
With all due respect, Mum, I'm not very good at liaising.
No? Well, I'm not very good at driving a desk.
Receiving, Sarge. Go ahead.
Yeah, we traced the next of kin for Stephen Seabrook. He was unmarried. His father lives in Maidstone. Local force has been informed.
And your Mr. Rickman has some form.
Not for assault on a police officer, I hope.
Petty theft mostly, bit of ABH, fighting pubs, that kind of thing.
Yeah, thanks, Sarge.
It's all right, I'll protect you. You can kick off, though.
Me? Good afternoon, sir. Dennis Rickman.
Yeah?
Detective Constable Dashwood, Sunhill Police. This is Detective Chief Inspector Reed. We're making inquiries regarding an incident that occurred at a building site in Telwyn Road earlier today.
Yeah, well, I ain't nicked nothing if that's what you want.
Nothing's been nicked. Do you mind if we come in, sir? You work at the building site then, do you?
On and off. Why?
With Stephen Seabrook, tiling subcontractor.
So?
Were you at the site today?
Yeah.
Working with Seabrook?
Yeah.
What time did you leave?
About one-ish.
Oh, half day.
Friday, innit? Stevie don't do much work on Friday afternoons.
One of his runs last year was in the Derby.
Out drinking with him, did you?
Me? Nah.
Oh, why's that? On and out.
Why, you done him for drink driving or something, have you?
No, we haven't done it for drink driving or anything. I just asked you if you'd fallen out with him, Dennis.
No.
Best mates, then?
Not mates at all.
Work with him.
Why, you mates with your governor, are you? Perhaps you are.
So you don't like Stevie?
He's a git, right? Nobody likes him. I mean, what's he said I've done?
Why doesn't anyone like him, Dennis?
Because he thinks he's it, right? When in fact, he's crap.
You think he's crap?
Look, what's he said I've done?
Where were you at 2:30 this afternoon?
Why?
You tell me where you were and I'll tell you why I want to know.
I don't have to tell you nothing, right?
Very true, Dennis. We appreciate that and we're very grateful for your time. It would just help us to know.
She talks then. I was with a bird.
Oh, well, that's original. Name?
Lisa.
Address?
Allsop Road.
Allsop Road. Remember you, will she?
Yeah, I think I can say it was pretty memorable for her.
Well, she'll remember your breath anyway. What number?
Why?
Mr. Seabrook was killed this afternoon, Dennis. He fell on his head from the top floor.
What, choker? That bastard owed me 50 quid.
There's a theory he may have been pushed. So you must try and see things from our point of view. I mean, what are we going to do if this Lisa denies all knowledge, which is likely? I mean, Toms are about as reliable as the building trade when it comes to remembering. They don't want to know. At the moment, Dennis, you're just very kindly helping us with our inquiries. But if we were to arrest you on suspicion and Lisa didn't come across, you'd be in it. We know you're not an angel, Dennis. We've checked. Tend to lay hands on people, don't you, when they don't see your point of view. If Seabrook was a tow rag and had been messing you about over money, then a confrontation's on the cards, isn't it? Any court's going to draw that conclusion. You do see that, don't you? It might be worth claiming it was an accident, and it might not, because, you see, we have a witness who said she saw it happen. A deliberate push. Murder.
Look, it's not my form you ought to be looking at, it's his. Look, just ask around the site. Everybody will tell you the same thing.
Nobody's telling us anything, Dennis, except that you went missing at lunchtime.
Oh, come on, don't start on me. Look, there's plenty around who's glad he's been done, right? Have a chat to your computer. Go on. See what that's got to say.
Stephen Edward Seabrook, various traffic offences, drink drive, one suspended custodial. Then in January 88, convicted West London Crown Court and sent down for 18 months plus a 5-year ban, causing death by reckless driving. Truffbolt did the groundwork and I vaguely remember it. It was a young woman called Sandra Collinson. Details are all there, Mum.
Thanks, Alex.
Sierra Oscar from Burnside. Receiving over.
Go ahead, Gov.
Would you happen to know the whereabouts of a DCI? I'm getting a tiny bit cheesed off here.
No. I understood you were liaising with the SOCO, over.
There is nothing to liaise about. I've told them all I know. That took all of 5 seconds. But the SOCO is here, the photographer is here, the factory inspector is here. Munro and his uniforms are still here, and I'm hanging around like a spare jockstrap in a changing room.
Well, no, it can't be Rickman. He's the wrong build. Thick set, Mrs. Collard said.
It's a building site, Mike.
Right.
You'll wear 6 layers in winter.
All right, so he's still in the frame.
There was a scuff on the door jamb at the side. It wouldn't stand up on its own, but... Anyway, I don't think he's the premeditating type, do you? There was no struggle, not according to Mrs. Collard. And you've got to be pretty cold-blooded to shove someone off a 50-foot drop. I could do it. I don't know about you.
Everything under control, Alec?
Oh, yes, sir. We've got an incident, though, sir. Possible non-accidental death at a building site.
Area and form?
The SOCO is on site, sir. Floundering in the DCI's wake at the moment, though.
Really?
Good afternoon, Mr. Collinson?
No.
Oh, I'm sorry. I understood Mr. Ian Collinson lived here.
Oh, he used to. Who wants him?
Sorry, Mr...
Baker. I'm Ian's father-in-law.
Oh, I see. Can you tell us where we can find him?
Who is it, Chaz?
Detective Chief Inspector Reed, Sunhill CID, and this is Detective Constable Dashwood.
Chaz!
It's all right, I can deal with it. What do you want Ian for?
We'd like to speak to him, that's all. Just a routine inquiry.
Who is it?
The police looking for Ian.
Is it about Sandra?
Well, no, not exactly.
Oh, I thought it might have been about Sandra. Come on in, anyway. Have a cup of tea.
Well, if Ian isn't here, there's no need for us to trouble you.
He'll be round later. That's his little daughter, him and Sandra's. We look after her while Daddy's at work, don't we, sweetheart? No, I thought it might have been about Sandra, because it's the anniversary this week.
I'm afraid not.
Come on, Jill. I don't think they want to see all that.
You shut up! You don't have to. You and Tasha can make the tea. Take no notice of him. Come in. Her birthday this week and all. We always celebrate her birthday. Well, I say we. I do. Chaz says it's morbid. That's the trouble with men. They can't show their emotions. She's still with us, you know. In this room. I sit and chat to her every day. Tell her what Tasha's been up to, and Ian. This is where they slept. I'll keep it nice. I took most of them. What do you think?
They're very good. She was a pretty girl.
Yes. More than skin deep and all. Most people think Chaz is the photographer, of course. Well, it's usual, isn't it? The man. He don't know one end of a camera from the other. What do you want to see Ian for, anyway?
Just routine. Would you happen to be able to tell us what he was doing earlier this afternoon?
Work, I hope.
What does he do?
Electrician.
Oh, yes. Any particular kind of job?
All sorts. He's self-employed. Round in Pardale Road today, putting in some sockets. Taken just before she was killed, this one. Just before that drunken bastard mowed her down. I've got lots more. Would you like to see them? He wouldn't. He's like Ian, I expect. Bottles it all up. She's dead, he says. Put it behind you. But she shouldn't be dead, should she? That's the point. That's why, to me, she's still here. Poor Ian wasn't even touched. Not a mark. They were walking home from a party rather than drink and drive. And he got 18 months, our friend. 18 months for taking one life and destroying 4 others. A lad up the road here got that for housebreaking. Oh, and he got a ban, our friend. 5 years. This is his ban. Out of prison after a year and straight back behind the wheel. These are all him in pub car parks. That's a good one, though. That must be evidence actually putting the key in the lock.
You took all these?
I followed him since the day came out, and I'll go on following him. You can take these, go on. Put him away again, even if it is only for another 6 months. And when he comes out, I'll do the same again. I'll go on following him. I'll haunt that man till the day I die, because he's torturing us. Losing Sandra, that was pain. But this is torture. That man hasn't got a care in the world. Drinking, driving, drinking. For him, it's like it never happened. Can you stand there and tell me that's justice?
No, Mrs. Baker, I can't.
Then do something.
Mrs. Baker, does Ian know about these?
He doesn't want to know.
He knows. We all know.
Then why don't you do something? You're supposed to be men, aren't you?
Mr. Collinson?
Yeah?
Police, sir. We'd like you to answer a few questions.
What for?
In connection with an incident at the Telwyn Road building site. Is this your jacket?
That didn't take you long, did it? Can I leave a note for the owner? Only I was hoping to finish this today.
Ian Collinson, I'm arresting you on suspicion of murder.
Sierra Oscar from DC Dashwood receiving over.
Go ahead.
Yeah, Sarge, we've arrested someone in connection with the death at the building site, bringing in a Mr. Ian Collinson. Can you notify all interested parties, please?
Received, Mike. Well done.
Will my in-laws be allowed to have Tasha, do you reckon? Or will she be taken into care?
Congratulations, Mom.
Thanks, Frank.
Chief Super wants to see you. I think it's knuckles wrapped for doing a good job time. You get used to that. So, you're going to show me your catch?
Do I detect the faintest whiff of sour grapes, Gov?
No, not at all. I mean, if Reed feels the need to go glory hunting, that's her problem. I must say, I'm not too happy about the way you've suddenly changed sides, though.
We don't have sides in CID. We're a team.
Not today, we weren't.
Well, now you know how it feels.
Ah, this is not going to be the Ted Roach whinge, is it?
You're the one who's whinging.
Because if it is, the answer is the same. Comes in 2 parts, both of them circular.
Spherical, actually, Gav.
Got form, has he?
No, clean as a whistle. First offence.
Well, you and Madam should be very pleased with yourselves. He should get 15 years.
15? Come on.
Michael, it is premeditated murder. Taking the law into your own hands when the victim's already been legally punished. Not many judges go a bundle on that. Should have run him over. Might have only got 18.
I just told him straight, you know? I mean, just because you're a sergeant does not mean you know everything. You know,
Yeah, all right, just shut up a minute. What? It's all right, keep walking, act natural. Somebody in that bus queue's just lost some money. You go and find out who it is, but don't let them cause a fuss. Janice Strong? Don't even think about it. WPC Ackland, Sunhill Police Station. I have reason to believe you're in possession of stolen property. Turn your pockets out, please.
You can't do that. You can't search her out in the street.
Look, I'm not asking her to take her clothes off, Mrs. Strong.
I should bloody well hope you're not asking her to take her
turn
clothes
this
off.
pocket out, please.
What's that then?
It's your purse, Janice.
Yeah?
Mm-hmm. Why has it got a credit card in it belonging to Miss V.I. Matthews?
That's my auntie. She lent them to Janice, shut up. You nicking her?
What does it look like? Janice Strong, you're under arrest for theft. You don't have to say anything if you don't wish to, but anything
So don't you say another word.
May be given in evidence.
I'm coming with her. Don't you move from there till I get my coat.
Sierra Oscar from 643 receiving.
Go ahead, June.
Transport, please, Dave. 2 to come in. I'm at 2 Eastview Close.
It'll be 5 to 10 minutes, June, okay?
Yeah, okay. We've got to wait a few minutes for transport, I'm afraid.
Well, come indoors then. I don't want my daughter standing out in the street with a policewoman.
Shouldn't let her pick pockets then, should you?
Go in the back room.
Oh, it's cold in there.
Well, put the fire on then.
We're going in a minute.
832 from 643 receiving over.
Yeah, June, where are you? I've been looking for you everywhere.
Ain't our police force wonderful?
Finished, have you?
Sir.
Straight back out then, please. I'm afraid you're covering a lot of ground today.
Right you are, sir.
I met Jeremy first.
Got the I've got all the details and...
These two are a right pair of jokers, OK? I want you to keep an eye on them, especially the mum. In fact, what I think we need is a nice cup of tea.
What?
Just do what I tell you. Right, how about a nice cup of tea while we're waiting?
Make it yourself if you want one.
And I took him back.
For the two boys, breakfast is something to be foraged for. Empty pockets mean empty bellies, so they start the day thinking.
So where's the tea?
In the tin, marked tea.
Social security a long time ago.
What about the mugs?
Sometimes they make
In the cupboard.
Today it's just coffee. Their store is not unusual.
You've got something wrong with your eyesight.
Shuttling from children's homes to foster parents and back again.
I'm not running a bloody canteen. That's what you think.
No, I don't think you're running the canteen. All I'm trying to...
As long as you know then, that's all right. And we know where we are, don't we?
Yes, well...
Yeah, well, don't just push me too far.
I don't think
You
there's...
got it? Has he got it? Because my patience is running out. I don't really care what kind of tea you like.
You
My
just
miss
calm...
is strong.
You
don't miss is
just
strong.
calm down.
Ready to go then, June?
No time for tea after all.
Janice, you sit there. Mrs. Strong, I won't be a minute. Can you keep an eye on those two for me?
What you got here then?
Well, the girls are straightforward theft, pickpocketing from the bus queue.
June saw her, banged her rights.
Is she a juvenile?
Oh, no, she's 17. The mother's come of her own free will, but I'd really like to hang on to her if I could. I think she's involved in something as well, fraud or deception. I'd need to talk to CID about it.
Any previous?
Oh, yeah.
Well, I'll spin it out for a bit.
We're not doing anything till we've seen a solicitor.
You'll do exactly as you're told, madam. Right, young lady, if you care to sit down here, please.
OK, Mrs. Strong, you come with me.
I'm not leaving her on her own with you lot.
Just come with me through to the front office.
I'm not leaving her. She's not fit. You're wasting your time, you know. You can't charge her.
She's 17, isn't she?
Yeah, but she's not fit. She's not mentally competent. She's had brain damage.
Yeah, well, there's absolutely no doubt at all that she's committed a crime. And I'm sure you understand that we need to detain her until we can prove the truth of what you've just said.
You give me the name of your doctor and social worker if you have one, then we'll follow it up later.
French. Well, what's that about? She trying it on?
Look, I've met these two before, sir. The usual view is that the girl's dim but fit to plead.
Are you the arresting officer?
Yes, sir.
Do you need French anymore?
Yeah, I've got to give you Lucy's details. Well, she's gone to work, but you can reach her there. God, I think it was brilliant what you did just now.
As soon as you've done that, go back out, please.
Yes, sir.
Sir, I've got my suspicions about the mother. I'd like to follow it up, but it may take me some time.
All right, Ackland, but fast as you can.
Morning, June. Ron not in yet?
Nobody's in. Nobody's in an office anywhere.
Yeah.
You know, I think I might have something for you here, Jim. I've got Janice Strong in for pickpocketing, but I think I can get her mum as well.
What for? Being in possession of an offensive daughter?
No, I think she's getting money out of charities under false pretences.
That sounds possible.
What do you want to do about it?
Well, I'd like to stick with it.
Save us the work. Go for it.
Oi! Does that car belong to yous? Well, you know what they say, don't you? Don't touch it until it's yours.
Is that what you say to the sergeant? They came in search of paradise, man.
Right, just you hang on there.
832 from Sierra Oscar receiving.
832 receiving, over.
Poultry Estate, number 38, 38, Tolly House. Neighbour reports disturbance in the flat, woman screaming. Can you deal?
832, I'm on my way now.
Could the director or your finance manager get back to me as soon as possible, please? This is with reference to a grant made to a Mrs. Dorothy Strong of 2 Eastview Close, London, East 1. Could you please treat this matter urgently? Thank you.
It's the police! Open the door, please! Hello! It's the police!
You'll have to break in, you know.
You what?
You'll have to break in.
Was it you that phoned?
Yeah. She was screaming and carrying on. Well, half an hour at least. She must be on drugs. Go on quiet now.
What's her name?
Oh, Kathy, Carol, something like that. Carol, that's it. I don't talk to her.
Is she alone in there?
Well, how should I know? Watch yourself.
Thanks. Hello? Carol? It's the police! Carol? Can you hear me? Carol? Are you on something? Have you taken something? What has happened? Are you ill? Is there somebody else in this flat?
Sierra Oscar from 832. Receiving, over.
Sierra Oscar, go ahead, Delia.
It's a cop death. It's this girl, Dave. Her baby's died.
Right, well, that's a sudden death, isn't it? So you know what to do. First thing, you call the doctor, don't you? Phone the GP, get in there straight away, OK?
Yeah, okay.
Right, have you got all the particulars?
No, not yet.
Right, on you go then. We're sorted from this end.
Carol. Are you married? What is the baby's name?
832, this is Sergeant Peters.
Receiving.
Confirm you're at 38, that's 38 Tully House with subject.
Yes, but I haven't got the details yet.
We'll inform the duty officer and CID. They'll be with you as soon as possible, over.
Okay.
Stick to the procedure, French. If you're in any doubt, wait till the inspector gets there. Your message timed at 08:57. got to let her manage by herself.
Just hang on in there, Delia.
OK, what we got?
The doctor's in there with the baby now.
What is it, boy or girl?
It's a girl, Sarah. And the mother's in there. God, she's in a terrible state, Jim.
They usually are. Doctor, Jim Carver from Sun Hill.
Hello. I should say she died in the middle of the night.
A doctor pronounced life extinct at 09:25. Doctor, did you know the family?
Yes.
Was the baby well cared for?
Yes, certainly.
As far as you can see, are there any signs of ill treatment?
None at all. Obviously, the post-mortem will tell us. But I'd have thought this is as straightforward as sudden infant death ever is.
You will be here for a few moments, won't you?
Yes. But I've got surgery at 10.
Mrs. Hayward, I'm Jim Carver from Sun Hill Police Station. Now, I have to ask you a few questions. Is that all right? I'll try and get it done and over with as quickly as possible, OK?
Yes.
When did you first realise that baby had died?
I woke up late. About 8:30. I wondered why she wasn't crying. I went into her room.
Then what did you do?
I don't know.
Did you touch her at all?
No. No. No, I don't think she's been back in since.
Yeah, thanks. Mrs. Hayward, had the baby been ill at all?
Inspector Monroe.
Dr. Wilton?
Sad business.
I've got an ambulance coming. I don't like bringing the undertakers in for these cases.
Well, I'd like the mother to go to casualty anyway. She's very distressed.
No, we don't want any accidents. How old?
6 months. You know, I swear social services come in the morning and take the phone off the hook.
There you go.
Cheers, thank you. I've been looking through these known associates. I'm trying to find out if Dorothy Strong knows a nurse or someone who's an accomplice. I think she's got fake doctor certificates.
She could work in a surgery for a few weeks, lift enough stationery to tide her over.
Yeah, but all the doctors have their own number, don't they? I mean, they have to stamp the certificate.
She could fake a letter. Look, can I use the outside line? I want to ring that mate of mine about those leather jackets.
Yeah, of course.
Well, you won't know for sure until after the post-mortem, but I don't think this is one of those.
Well, it doesn't look like it. Ah, thanks for coming.
To go to St. Hugh, sir?
Well, that's it. Take the mother as well. I'll follow you down there. What's the baby's name?
Sarah.
Mrs. Hayward, would you like to bring Sarah out of the ambulance? French. In here, please. Help me with this.
Do we need all these?
If the post-mortem showed the child was poisoned, we'd look pretty stupid.
Yes, I know that.
You never know. Right, I want you to make this place secure. Put something over that front door, then radio in that you're back on watch.
Yes, sir.
Okay, then.
Yes, thank you, Doctor. I'm going back to the Nick, sir. I'll do a follow-up visit later today.
Thanks, Jim. Don't forget to check the windows at the back. Oh, have you got the father?
Oh, yeah,
Right, I'll No, you can do it. Go and break the news to him. All right.
Yes, sir.
And you sent her a cheque for £100 on the 17th? Look, Mrs. Lancaster, can you please put that in writing for me and put it in the post today? Thank you very much for your help. Goodbye. Any answers to the name of Black?
I've been sat out there for ages. Nobody's telling me nothing.
Excuse me. I'm sorry, madam. I'm sure it's being dealt with.
Don't you madam me. Where's those two what brought her in?
Which two?
The fat black one and the snotty blonde.
June, can you spare a moment?
Oh, look, I'm sorry this is taking so long, sir, but it is a good one.
No, you carry on. Shut the door, would you? I wanted to ask you about Delia French. Are you finding her okay to work with?
No problems at all, sir.
You feel she's coping with the probation all right?
Yeah, she seems to be all right.
She doesn't always appear to be happy with the instructions she's given.
In my opinion, sir, given the proper support now while she's learning, she'll make an excellent policewoman.
Yes, well, I'm sure you'll put her right if you see her going wrong.
Yes, sir. I'll be up in CID if anybody's looking for me.
Gary Hayward.
Down at the other end.
Oh, great.
You Gary Hayward?
Yeah, why?
Can I have it? It's cute candles.
Only none, is it?
No.
Is he Carol? She had an accident.
Same. I'm so sorry.
Well, the kid's never even had an operation. She's never been the victim of medical malpractice in any way. I think the mum just came up with the idea when Janice started thieving.
Well, if we are going for fraud, what we need is somebody properly qualified to examine the girl and prove that there's no brain damage.
Well, couldn't we have it done and say it's to do with the theft job?
How many charities are posting written statements?
3 so far.
Why haven't I been charged then?
If you keep quiet, we might let you out on bail.
Is it because my mum's giving you a hard time? I want to go to the toilet.
The toilet in your cell.
I'm not going back in there.
You'll do as you're told.
It's all right, I'll wait.
So he maintains his friend gave him permission to drive the car.
That's right. I found him with a bunch of keys and then a large bunch of keys.
So he's got a bunch of keys.
Oh, stop it!
What's the matter with you?
He touched me.
I never.
He did. He touched me somewhere rude. Look, I'm not staying in this place. It's full of rapists.
You're Janice Strong, ain't you? You went to school with my sister. She put your head down the bog and pulled the chain.
Oh, well, if I have you up for indecent assault, we'd be even, eh?
Is Trevor French there? Yeah, thanks. Oh, right, okay, well, do you know when he's going to be back? Yes, all right, no, it's his wife. I just wanted to talk to him about something. Yes, thanks. Bye.
Let's get some details, shall we?
Why'd you keep me waiting 2 hours before you asked me? I could have sorted this out when we come in if you'd listened.
Now, your daughter is definitely brain damaged.
Yeah, I keep telling you.
And how did she sustain this damage?
She had operation. They give her the wrong anaesthetic.
And how old was she?
9 or 10.
Oh, 9 or 10, which?
9.
And which hospital was this?
St Hugh's.
Janice has been in trouble before, hasn't she?
She's not responsible.
Hasn't there been some doubt about that?
You lot pick on her.
Oh, do we?
You've nicked her before, haven't you?
Yes. I first saw Janice arrested 6 years ago. Now, since then, she's been in 5 times in connection with thefts.
You've been here all that time. What's the matter? Can't you get promotion?
Suppose I said to you that the hospital had no knowledge of performing any operation on your daughter at any time of her life.
No, well, they won't have. They wouldn't admit liability, would they? They've destroyed the records.
Really?
It's a cover-up.
832 from Sierra Oscar receiving. 832 from Sierra Oscar receiving, over.
832 from Sierra Oscar receiving.
Where's Delia French then?
Got one of those stuff radios, I expect.
No, she hasn't.
My daughter Janice Strong received brain damage as a result of wrongly administered anaesthetic during an appendix operation at St Hugh's Hospital when she was 9 years old. She is not responsible for her actions and does not know that when she takes other people's belongings, she is doing wrong. This statement is true to the best of my knowledge and belief. Is that correct?
Yeah, come on, let me sign it and go home, will you?
Right, you need to sign it there and there.
And there's a phone number for the helpline on there as well. I think you should phone them.
My mum's coming soon.
You take care then.
Sir? She looked after Sarah really well, you know.
I know. Don't worry about that.
When did we last hear from her? OK. Oh, Bob's just going out now. I'll ask him to look out. I don't think we need search parties just yet. French hasn't been in radio contact for over half an hour.
We've gone somewhere to have a good cry, I should think. Well, surely you can understand that.
I fully understand if she's upset by the cot death, but she should be in contact.
Well, if I find her, I'll send her back.
I've no time for an officer whose response to a bad morning is to go walkabout.
No, sir.
You've got everything, have you? They didn't take nothing off you.
I ain't got no fags.
That clock right? Bloody hell, I've been here all flipping morning.
Right, Janice, we'll make an appointment for you to see the doctor and have some tests.
What tests? What you on about?
We'll need to establish the extent of the brain damage, won't we?
I told you. You can't charge her.
Right. You can get a bus from the end of the road. We'll be in touch.
Sierra Oscar from 9-2. Alec?
Go ahead, Bob.
I've just seen French. No problem. She's on what you might call personal time.
One of the guards has been taken to hospital, but not believed seriously injured.
Frank. Sierra Oscar from DCI Read, ETA 5 minutes, over.
This stupid prat will get out of the way. Come on!
Bells, bells.
No panic.
Take off this end as well! Come on, move it!
Did you recognise anything at all about Ellis? Eh?
John,
Anything
don't
at all?
worry, everything's...
Now, come on, you were there, I wasn't there. There
Sarge.
must have been something.
DCI said.
All right, all right. You guys come out there.
Oi! One for the album, Frank. You must be the new boss, Reed. Tom Ward, at your service, ma'am.
So now we know each other, Mr. Ward. Ah, Andrew.
That looks like a naughty one, ma'am. And it was me thinking it had been attacked by a giant green fly.
Nice to have met you, Mr. Ward. Now you'll have to excuse us.
This way, ma'am. She's got no sense of humour. Yeah, well, it's better than mine. Only doing a job. Now, will you shove off before I do one on you? Always been a wizard with public relations, haven't you, Frank?
I warned you before.
He's just leaving.
It's a first division job, this, eh?
Student Frank, it ain't.
Certainly test, madam.
He's not the only one going to be able to start as orders.
Everything all right there, Quillen?
Yes, fine, Mum. Just waiting for an ambulance.
Right, it shouldn't be too long now.
Please, we really must go. We've got a very
Look, I'm sorry, I'm not prepared to discuss the incident. I may well call a press conference if and when I feel it is necessary. Yes, of course I'm aware of the circumstances. How much? Can I ask where you got this information? I'm afraid I've absolutely no comment to make. Right, Derek, what kind of outfit are we running here?
Problem, sir?
Yes, about 600,000. What I want to know is why I have to hear it from the bloody press.
Yeah, I don't think... You sure you need us? Do you want me to answer that, Frank?
Road checkpoints?
Implemented almost immediately, ma'am. It's thought the escape vehicle may be a black BMW.
Thought?
Right, you seem to have covered most points. I think you and your team should concentrate on keeping the scene secure until supper finished.
No problem.
Have we considered an incident room, Frank?
Ellison will have gone into automatic pilot.
Yes, good. Right, Ted, witnesses.
2 apart from the guards.
Right, if you'd like to come with me now, vehicle's just over there. Come on, love, sorry to keep you waiting.
No.
Any joy?
Hopeless. Thanks very much, sir. If you can hang on for a while. All the driver says was he was forced to brake suddenly to avoid hitting other vehicles. Big guy jumps out in a black wetsuit, sawn-off shotgun, forces him out of the car and makes him lie on the pavement.
Don't tell me. He left the card and a box of chocolates.
It's been a nasty experience for them.
There you go.
Right. Couldn't have picked a better spot.
We're lucky nobody's been killed.
A lot of planning gone into this.
Yes, and we've got to be twice as professional to catch them. What's the guard got to say?
Him's like a vegetable. 65 if he's a day. Can hardly breathe, let alone talk.
Somebody at the hospital with the other one?
Well, I don't know.
Well, I suggest you find out, Sergeant.
Ted, while you're at it, take your vegetable and get a wireworm check on him, all right?
Well, they'll both be having the injured persons test, that's for sure. This lot stinks of an inside job to me.
Hold it. I'm running this, Sergeant. So before you start putting anybody under pressure, you consult me. Got it?
Yes, ma'am.
Attitudes like that have to be jumped on, Frank.
He only wants to feel colours.
Don't we all? Okay, but understand this. We're not having him running around like a knight on a white horse.
Sergeant, I want to speak to DCI Reed the minute she makes contact, all right?
Alec Peters is going to keep trying, sir. The update, sir, for what it's worth.
5 men?
Yes, sir. 4 for the job and a driver.
What exactly is a nibbler?
Hydraulic metal cutter, sir.
Well, do you mind keeping slang out of official communications?
Sir?
Nothing to be given to the media, all right? I'm going to arrange a press call.
I believe they already know the amount, sir.
Well, they certainly didn't get it from me, did they?
We switched to Channel 4, Mom.
Right.
Mr. Brownlow wants to confer quite urgently. He requests you use landline.
Thank you.
Is the rumour right, you reckon?
About what?
No Santa Claus.
Try telling that to the villains who've done this one, then. The whisper is over 600 grand's been lifted.
What?
Oh, dear, oh, dear.
Times like this, I'm pleased to be a woolly.
This is serious business. The whole of London's going to be buzzing, and we're going to be right under the microscope.
Come on.
It might be better if you waited outside.
I'm not shy.
Please?
It is necessary that I speak to the man.
Is he under arrest?
No.
Then I must insist.
Well, what ward is he on?
Seems he discharged himself within minutes of admittance.
Right. I want to see you again, mister, and when I do, you better be prepared to answer some hard questions.
I've decided we each take a team, Frank, split the responsibilities. I'll take Martella and Dashwood and cover interviews of all witnesses in an effort to put together an overall picture.
Well, I'd take the raggy dolls and kick a few doors in.
Metaphorically, I hope, Frank.
What about Serious Crime Squad?
Yeah, they've already made contact. I've told them for the moment this is a divisional problem. What's the joke?
Nothing.
Oh, I was forgetting you were with that mob, weren't you?
Yeah. Happy days.
So why should we need them?
Too shy.
Aren't you finished yet? You'll need it downstairs.
Anything further?
No, Frank Burnside briefing in troops to prevent any delay.
All right, then.
So, good morning, everybody. Could you please give attention to Chief Superintendent Brownlow?
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm sorry for the slight delay.
Right, you lot. Now, this is a real job. And we should be clapping our hands over it for 3 reasons. 1, the overtime gates are open.
Yay!
2, it gives us the opportunity to show the 9 o'clock critics what we are really capable of.
Yes, right.
And 3, we can take a few hostages and get right into the pulse of the patch.
Oh, come on, Gov.
No,
That's
not
possible,
now,
is it?
Tosh. This is not a question and answer session. So make no mistake, I want this one cleared up with style. So get into your snouts and start tipping the fleas out of them.
Any information that we receive will be treated with the utmost confidence. Now, a special number has been set up for the Sun Hill incident room, and members of the public can contact us through any police station or any police officer. Now, if there are any questions directly relating to this case, we'd be more than happy to answer.
You said the money stolen was considerable. Could you tell us the exact amount, Chief
full
Superintendent?
itinerary hasn't been made by the security.
Isn't it over
company.
£600,000?
I can't comment on that. I'm
And isn't it
afraid.
also true that the drivers attacked were nearly old-age pensioners?
I can't comment on that either, Inspector.
You know as well as I do, Mr. Ward, we can't divulge private details of witnesses.
Has any reward been posted yet?
I understand a substantial reward has been offered for the apprehension and conviction of the criminals and for the return of the money.
Any likely leads?
No, not as yet. We are pursuing lines of inquiry.
Isn't the real truth of it, Mr. Brownlow, that you don't have a clue?
Why you go?
Cheers, go.
Can I have a word?
Oh, don't tell me. You want to fly solo?
Is it that obvious?
It's leaking out of you.
Any objections?
If you're going to fly by the seat of your trousers, make sure your underpants are clean.
I might have an in.
Ted, you don't have to prove anything.
You've got 2 pips, I haven't. A job like this could put him there.
Look, I'll back your professional judgment. You know that. But Madam has you mapped.
No, she thinks she has.
What's the response, Alistair?
Not too bad, really, ma'am. Quite a few people saying they were at or near the scene about the time it happened, but nothing concrete.
OK, it's a long shot, but key in day shift policemen, then narrow it down to any who use that route to come to work. You never know. Coppers are supposed to be observant, aren't they?
No comment, ma'am.
Police, open up!
They're not mine. They're in for repair, I promise. They're all broken.
Well, that one is.
Enjoying yourself, Alfie? Getting the poison out your system?
I am the man in the mask. Why don't they believe me? You, listen, I'll come down here to society a favour. And what do they do me, eh? What do they do me? Listen to me, sweet naffle. You got that sweet naffle. Nothing, nothing. You, get your mates out here now.
Sorry, don't believe you.
Look, what a pair. A puff and a big puff.
Oi, on your bike.
Good morning, Central Station.
Yes, sir.
The assistant personnel manager, please.
Can I take your name, please? Sorry.
It's okay, I'll speak to him direct. You gonna let me through, Harkness? Or do I have to conduct the interview from out here?
It's all right, Dad, you can let him through.
Ted, me old mate. Oh, still as sociable as ever, eh?
This is business.
Yeah? Oh, sorry about all this, but we have to move with the times.
Tremendous. Banks of bloody spy cameras, and you send out guards with senile dementia wearing tin lids to protect the money.
Policy, Ted. Same as your job, isn't it? Blokes at the top who've never fired a shot in anger leading the troops from the officers' mess. So how can I help you?
I want the details of all the dodge spots you got working here. It's no good sucking your teeth, old sport. You're going to give them to me.
Oh, same old Ted Roach, eh? Kicking verbals to the front, brains and strategy down the pan.
I ain't kidding, Chris.
I know you're not, but there's no way I'm giving you any sighting of our confidential files.
You're the personnel manager, aren't you?
Assistant, yeah, but computer clearance is rigid.
God bless.
Look, it's not as easy as all that.
You're not hearing me properly, are you, Chris?
Oi, what's all the heavies for, anyway?
Sorry to disturb you, Mr. Harkness, but I wondered, would you and your friend like a coffee?
No, we wouldn't, and my friend's going in a minute anyway.
Okay.
Oh, you haven't changed one bit, have you?
Do you mean to tell me you don't lick your lips when you see her writhing down the passage?
Look, I don't need this hassle. You've already had a full list of our people.
Names and dates of birth. Come on.
What's the matter? They all come up clean?
I want their personal files.
Sod off.
Don't be too quick off the mark, son. Think it through. You know as well as I do that if they've got any convictions, they're not going to admit it on the application form. A couple of days out here or there with the dates of birth, the computer's useless, isn't it? A quick scan might be mutually advantageous.
No way. If there was one hint, I'd given them to you. My job wouldn't be worth a candle.
Well, let's stuff the turkey a different way then, shall we? Does your boss know the real reason why you decided to leave the force? You slug. I was cleared of that. Never went to court, my old son. Lack of corroboration, if my memory serves me right. And if they'd asked me, I would have been able to supply it.
So this is blackmail.
Persuasion. And unlawful sex with a 14-year-old does carry with it a stench, a stigma.
You bastard.
Come on, Chris, as DCs together, we sidestep the rules as partners. Just think about it in the same vein.
And how many more rabbits you gonna pull out the hat?
It's up to you.
One of these days, Roach, you are gonna choke on your words.
Look, all I want is a result. To see some vicious scum go down the hole. Do you think I relish putting you in a situation like this?
Yeah, you're loving it.
Kept you as a friend. As an ex-colleague. But I would be a foolish man not to play my hand.
Do you know what you're asking of me?
A man of your ability would have no problem getting around that old computer. I mean, come on. If the boss snuffed it tomorrow, you'd have to have access.
You really do leave a trail on the ground, don't you?
1 for 1, Chris. You get me the details, I develop amnesia.
Sale of the century.
Typical. We clear up half the crime in Sunhill, but not a sniff on the one we want.
Gift horse detections.
Very true. Any joy your end?
No, not a sausage. But the word on the ground is it's got to be linked to the inside.
Early days yet, Frank. Keep at it. I'm off to see the manager at rear guard. Speaking to him on the phone, he sounds ambivalent about the whole thing.
Alan Watson. He's a dog.
He sounds it. Come on, Mike.
Caught them burning cable around the back of Morgan's fish shop.
I saw a punter decapitated once when he laid a load of cable like that across a railway line to cut it. And his eyes were open at the time.
Always the same, isn't it? Not enough I nearly had my brains blown out, now I got to suffer the humiliation. You think I'm involved, don't you?
I didn't say that, Mr. Reeves.
You don't have to.
Look, Tommy, I'm here because I have to be here. Just trying to help. Take you through it stage by stage.
Look, can't you accept I don't remember anything?
There's no rush, Tommy. Just take your time. Anything, please, Tommy? It's the little bits that usually matter.
Like leaving him alone, you mean?
Yeah.
Yep.
Look, that's my dog, number 6. 20 years in the mob I was, you know.
That's a long time.
Only that was war, son. Only this. I must be getting too old.
Look, Tommy, I do understand, you know.
Do you?
Yeah. It's your pride and confidence that's really been hurt, isn't it?
I could have had a disability pension. Only that's not my style.
He's stupid.
Yeah, $2.50 an hour. That's what I get.
Pretty desperate.
Bloody impossible.
How many times do I have to tell you I didn't see anything? I was lying face down on the pavement. The colour of his boots? Anything. Do I have to go through with this? It's important. What if people find out? If I say anything, sign anything? Nobody's going to see the statement but us. Look, we always protect all our witnesses. Oh, dear. My husband thinks I'm in Scotland with my sister.
Come on, Mike. Descriptions of witnesses in block capitals, please.
These are the two who were made to lie on the pavement.
Makes no difference. Attention to detail, Mike. Here you go.
Which one are you, Captain Kirk or Mr. Spock?
We're gradually building up a profile here, sir.
Yeah, I've seen a picture, Alistair. It's the tow rags who've been paid off I'm after.
And Watson, the manager, he's about as much help as a dead rat.
Yeah, a bloated one. And he didn't get that complexion drinking dark coke.
Here's the last of the witnesses. Any more actions?
No, nothing urgent, Mum.
You ready for a conflab?
Give me 10 minutes. I'm off to grab a sandwich.
Ron?
Hello?
Is this guy in your system?
Yeah. Looks like Paul Heslock, 2DA merchant. He doesn't have a tash, though.
You know him?
Yeah. A few years ago, I nicked him for high-powered motors. Got a buzz being chased up motorways in Porsches. Wizard with computers. Could bypass any alarm in seconds.
Come on, man.
No, it's nothing. There you are. Nothing for 3 years. Still disqualified, though.
Tremendous.
I want that back.
Yeah.
No, sir, I haven't seen it. Yes, of course, I'll get one immediately and call you back. Derek? You got an evening record?
No, sir, I haven't, but there's probably one in the front office.
Well, if not, could you send somebody out for one immediately, all right?
Yeah, sure. Our robbery made the front page, did it?
Yes. And our detective chief inspector too, apparently.
Oi, do you mind?
We're bang into it.
You've been taking those tablets again, Tim.
I've scored.
Oh, yeah.
That's our boy.
Fun knowing. There's lot.
Yep. And that's the set.
Could be. Take the hit of the dirt off his top lip.
That's him. That's Heslop. Look at the Borstal mark, left cheek.
Yeah. Well, it's not a perfect likeness, but I'd say it's the same man. Don't ring any bells, though. So come on, don't keep me in suspense.
Up to a month ago, guess what he was doing?
Rearguard?
Job application. Philip Hadaway. Snidey address, same date of birth.
This is cooking, Ted.
I told you.
Where'd you get this off, Harkness? Oh, it's stuck to your sticky fingers, right? So what could be easier? Stick their own man in as a driver?
And this could turn the big key on the lot of them.
Who else knows about this?
Nobody. Ron Smollett knows I got the photo, but that's it.
We'll have to tell her. Get out of it!
Not yet. Not yet. We've got our hands on gold here.
Dodgy.
You can honestly put your hand on your heart and tell her he's told me nothing.
But what have you told him?
Look, I got this thing by the tail.
All right, I'll batter off for a while. But you pull up any nasty surprises on me, Ted, and I'll shove your head in a bucket.
Any jobs for me?
No, I'll take care of.
Oh, yeah.
Can you photocopy these for me? 8 copies, please.
Terrific. Not going to give the solution, is it?
The way forward, Jen.
But can you tell me, though? Why, the more people in here playing with paper than out there knocking at doors.
Not going our way, is it, Frank?
Don't worry about it. Sometimes it takes a slow burn.
I know rearguard is under suspicion, but to know the exact route and drop, it's too convenient.
What's Watson's attitude?
Very defensive. Says it's impossible. All his staff have been thoroughly vetted and there's no way anyone could get through the net.
MI5 isn't that secure?
And he sweats a lot. I don't think he's had his suit dry cleaned since he bought it.
Glad I had a shower this morning.
You're keeping something from me, Frank.
Like what?
Like why you haven't mentioned the fact Roach has been making inquiries there. So why wasn't I informed? This is a public investigation, Frank, and I'll tell you this. Roach has not only alienated the whole company against us, but he may well be receiving a complaint for harassment.
I can explain, Mum.
I want to know, Frank.
I'll tell you something about Ted Roach. From the first day I set foot in this nick, him and me have been like two dogs with arched backs, but he always gives 1,000%. Now, it may not be your cup of tea, but I suggest you scrutinise the system before you start trying to saw his legs off.
This is not the time for professional evaluation. I want chapter and verse, Inspector.
Kim?
Sir.
Would you like to be in private, sir?
Oh, no, it's all right, Frank. I'd like a word with you in my office immediately, please.
Sir. Superglue yourself to the spot.
Yes, well, you laid yourself wide open there, didn't you?
So it seems, sir. Actually, this report is basically correct.
Pardon?
Well, I do suspect it's probably an inside job. And as far as the photograph is concerned, it's definitely not my best side.
You making any progress?
Up to 10 minutes ago, I thought not.
Something Frank Burnside said?
No, sir, something he hasn't said.
So?
Chris, I want to make it up to you, mate.
You won't be watching Wallet as well?
No, you're not listening. That punter Hadaway is called Heslop. He's a well-documented car thief and driver with heavy associates.
So what's this, a rubbing-in exercise?
Well, I want to make you a proposition that will not only get you off the hook, but will authenticate the documents and give me a chance to nick Heslop.
Well, you'll have to answer how you come by him, because it's you that wants off the hook, not me.
A statement will make it legitimate. Okay, I know, I've got the file. But do you want me to get a court order to obtain it?
Really cutting and stitching me up proper, ain't
Let's
you?
look at it like professional men, Chris. A statement would make it signed, sealed and delivered.
You're a user, Roach.
I've always wanted to know what people meant by that. There's only two words that mean anything to me. Winners and losers. Now, are you going to play ball or what?
Do I have a choice?
Cheers. Hello, love.
Hello.
You working late?
Yeah, what with the raid and that, there's been lots to do.
Yeah. So what time do you knock off then?
About 7.
Serious crime were like vultures waiting to pick us off on this one. Not just the stragglers, all of us. Because we work as a family. You and your pal, Roach, had better learn that and learn it fast. Are you with me?
Yes, ma'am.
Hello, Trudie. Come on, mate.
Let's give it a start.
Come on.
Let me clean up a Christ.
All right, mate.
And you? Had to be you, didn't it, eh? Do you say? Yeah. Thanks a lot.
End to an interesting day, Ted. I think you and I should have a little chat. How many interesting boozers around here?
Well, I'd be happy to oblige you, Gov, but I've got an appointment.